Productions.
Outstanding.
Welcome again to another video. It's your boy Eldorado, and in this video I'm going to talk about the basic controls of using a compressor. The basics of using a compressor is to control dynamics over time. Thus, learning the controls of using a compressor is essential. There are many different types, a couple types. Let's leave it at that, a couple types of compressor. But learning the basics control, as I said before, is really essential. That's why I'm going to explain what each control does so you can have a better understanding of how to approach a compressor. Now, controlling dynamics over time, it can help the vocals to sit in the mix more. It can help the bass to tighten up a little bit more in your mixes. It can glue your drums together, so on and so forth. There are many uses for compressor, but what I'm going to do in this video is just show you the basic controls in using a compressor. On a compressor, there are 4 controls you want to really take note of. Some compressors have less, some compressors have more, but there are 4 essential controls that you really want to know about: the attack, release, ratio, and the threshold. For this example, I'm going to start with the threshold now and explain it a little bit. A compressor will compress any material that passes through it after it exceeds a certain threshold. So the more threshold you apply to any given material, the more it's going to compress it, and the less threshold you apply to whatever material that you pass through the compressor, like the peaks, it compresses less. The next control is the ratio. Think of the ratio as how strong the compression being applied to the signal that is feeding into it. So the input signal, for example, if you set the ratio to 4:1 and it exceeds 4 decibels over the threshold, it will only compress by 1 decibel. Let me repeat that again. If the input signal exceed the threshold of whatever ratio, for example 4:1 or 8:1, over the threshold, it only compress by 1. The next control is the attack time, or the attack. Now, the attack tells the compressor when it's supposed to start compression after it exceeds the threshold level of the input signal. I'm going to repeat that again. The attack tells the compressor when to start to compress the material after it exceeds the threshold. So if it is set to -30, after it exceeds -30, if it's around 9 milliseconds, it's 9 milliseconds after -30 dB at which the input signal has been reached or over the threshold. For argument's sake, it starts to react to any material that is passing through the compressor. So a faster attack time, meaning that it's going to attack way much quicker after it exceeds the threshold, and a longer attack time, it will react a little bit after it exceeds the signal of the threshold. Now the next control is the release. Now the release works the opposite of the attack. The release time tells the compressor when to release the material after it drops below the threshold. So if you have a release time of 100 milliseconds, 100 milliseconds after it goes below the threshold, it starts to release. The next control is the makeup or gain knob. Now, the makeup or gain knob, it is really self-explanatory, right? Because when compressing, the signal will get lower. Not saying that it will, depends on the type of compressor that you are using. Now, compressing any material, it's going to get quieter. So the peaks are going to go down and the lower parts going to come up, but it's still not going to be as loud as the signal going in. Now, to get all that compression that you did or adjust whatever control that you adjust up back to an optimal level, you use the gain or the makeup knob to compensate for the difference in volume. Another control that you will see on a compressor is a gain reduction meter, whether digitally or a VU gain reduction meter. It tells you at which or how much the compressor has reduced each peak or each signal at which it exceeds the threshold and the given ratio. So a higher ratio will give you a more aggressive or a lot of compression, so you will get more gain reduction. What you can do also with the makeup gain, the amount of gain reduction that you get, you make up or have the gain make up for that amount of compression. So even if you pass and bypass the plugin, it doesn't sound as if lose any volume, but only gain character from whatever material that has been compressed. Thank you for watching this video, and in the next video I will go over some examples of using compressors so you can get a better understanding. I don't really want to do everything in one video, so hope me explain it a way that you can really understand your compressor settings. So until next time in another video, it's your boy Eldorado. Peace out.